Yes, welcome back. So let's continue with the plotting, how to identify the points or see the points on the graph. So we have looked at the planes. We have plane, so x and y planes. For y, we have the positive, the positive values of y. That will be from the O upwards. That's the positive. When you're coming down, is negative. Look at the values here: -1, -2, -3, -4, 5, 6. +1, +2, +3, 4, 5, 6. So we are going up. When you look at the x values, going to your right is the positive values 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Going to the left is -1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you see the difference. So that is it. But in identifying which is negative and which one is positive, that's why we introduce the word, the I or 1 to the variable or the plane to see the differences. So we've gotten that. Now, the next thing is when, for instance, you have been given a graph and then you have been given a set of ordered pairs. If you remember, set of ordered pairs, that's, for instance, you have been given x, y, or a, b, and then this time you have been given real values. So these are variables, right? So variables or the variables of the coordinates. So x is a variable, y is a variable, a is still a variable, b is a variable. So we are saying that this is equal, they are equal. Now, a situation whereby practically you have been given values, not variable values. So for instance, here, let's look at this. You have been given 3, 2. So now you have to understand which value represents the plane. We have x and y plane. So which of the values is y and which of the values is x? So for starters, the first value is the x coordinates, and then the second value is the y coordinates. So in the same way, when you understand this, then you can move to the graph, because now it's assumed that the graph is ready, and the graph they have established the x values and the y values. So when they are negative, you know where they are located. When they are positive, you know where they are located on that plane. The same thing is applicable to either y or x. So that is it. So now we have these values, which have also established that the first value is x, sorry, and then second value is y. Now you can move to the graph and do the plotting. So now that you know, for instance, if you are saying 3 and 2, now in plotting also, when it comes to the graph, the first value that you should look on the graph is the x value. Take this in from me, or take note. When you are plotting or you are reading from the graph, plotting or reading from the graph, the first value that you should look for on the graph is the x value. So x value, either if it is positive value, then that's where you move to the right side of the x plane. When it's a negative value, you move to the negative plane of that plane that we are talking about. So that's what it means. So that's the first thing. Move to the x value first. Look for it. Then when you check the value there, is it positive or negative? If it's negative, you move accordingly. If it's positive, you move accordingly. So for instance, here that we have 3 is a positive figure, and that is x value. So move to x value. Where is 3 located? 3 is here. So if 3 is located here, you put your point there, right? You put your point there. Just put it for starters. Locate the 3, put it there. Now let's move to the value of y, which is 2. Now, this 2, which value it is it negative or positive integer? It is positive. So now you move along that x and the y value, also move along it until you locate the 2. So when you locate the 2, we have located 2 here, 2 is here, and then 3 is here. So we have to trace them, move them onto the meet. You move them onto the meet. We saw 3 here, right? So you have marked it, whether with the pencil or whatever marker. Then move to the y values. You mark all that also. Now when you mark them, you move them, you trace them until they come to a perpendicular point. That was what we were talking about. You move them until they intersect. So where they intersect is the what? The coordinates, or is the point. So if I should move here, 3 up, move it here, and move 2 here, they meet here. Hence 3, 2. You see, so this is not magic. It's actually application. So now we see 3, we see 2, which is a 3 and 2. So you mark now, this way you can mark it either with this symbol as this, or maybe something of this sort. You understand how to do it. The important thing is that you know what you are doing. So that is it. Now, it was that this point established. Let's move to another coordinate. Here we have been given negative what? Negative 3 and 2. So if it is negative 3, still go to the x value first. Negative 3, where is 3 located? From the O, move down until you see the 3. So this is 3. So mark it there. Now let's move down. Let's move to 2. Now 2 is on the y-axis, right? So sorry, I think I was moving the wrong way. I said negative 3. So negative 3 should be on the what? On the x line. So move from the O to the negative 3. So you mark it there. Then move to what? Positive 2. Positive 2 is on the y. So you move it up. When you move them up, now we trace them until what? They meet. So they meet at this point. Now when they meet, don't leave it there. Indicate the point with the coordinates. So negative 3 and 2. So you mark that. So that is as easy as possible. As easy as ABC. So now you are seeing how they are established or developed on the map or on the graph. Sorry. So that is it. So now let's move to another coordinate. Negative 3, negative 2. Once again, look for the x value first. So negative 3, always start from the origin. Just start from the, for practice. With time, you don't have to start from here. But for practice, start from the origin. This is the origin. To origin, we are moving to what? Negative 3. So negative 3 on x will be here. Right? Now we have it there, mark it there. Now let's move to negative 2. Negative 2 is on y. So from the origin, negative 2 here. So we trace them until they meet at a point. So this is it. When they meet here, you indicate it. It's as simple as ABC. Now let's continue by looking for 3 and negative 2. So this one, x value, and it is positive. So move here is 3. If it is 3, let's look for negative 2. Negative 2 is on y. So from origin, negative 2 is here. Now trace them back to the meet perpendicular. So that is it. So we have 3, negative 2. Right. So now let's move for the last points. I'm just looking at the illustration that they did with the points, the coordinate that they give. So that's why I'm moving that way. I just want you to hear our objective is to understand how it is read from the graph. There will be a point that you'll be giving the coordinate for you to do the plotting and the graphing. That's where it's that one will also be another topic. So stay tuned. So with the last point, the last coordinates, we have 3 and negative 2. 3 is positive, and that will be on x. So x positive here, right? Now, let's move to negative 2. So this is it. Negative 2 here. This is it. So you see, that is it. Plot it. So we have seen that. And this one was actually a bonus. It was not asked here. So now, but let's look for why this is so. So 1 will be x value, positive 1, and then positive 2. So that will be here. So you see. So it's as simple as ABC. So with this as fully established and then perfected, you'll be able to do your plotting when the values of the coordinates have been given. You see how easy they are. The next one, I think I'll try and do this one. If you understand that, then we move on. Right. So I will see you in the next video. Please like, subscribe, and share. Let's see it Operation 1K, and then let's come live and do more illustrations and solve more examples. Right. So I'll see you in the next video. Catch you soon. Bye for now.